One of the ways that the pandemic has not been a huge change for me is that I have actually been self-employed and working remotely for the last 7 years. But I will say that a challenge that it has brought is that I normally tend to make sure to break up my day by working at home in the morning and then by going to a co-working space or a cafe or someplace for the afternoon, just to have a little bit of structure in my day, or to get out of the house, change the scenery, be out among people. Especially now that it's the winter and it gets dark early, one of the things that I find is very helpful is actually changing the lighting and turning off the artificial lighting and lighting candles when I'm done with work, to just like give it a little bit more of a relaxed and like evening feel, and sometimes putting on music. I will say though that that is something that is challenging about the situation, and something that I'm working on getting better at is finding a way to transition from work mode into relaxation mode when both are happening in the same place all day long. I am actually trying to get better about making myself quote unquote like dress up more at home. It's something I've been thinking about because I do have a tendency sometimes to like just be in pajamas or like be in very, very old clothing, which is comfortable but also just doesn't make me feel particularly like vibrant, I guess. And I think feeling vibrant is something that we're all struggling with in this time, like not leaving our houses and not being around people. So again, something that I've been trying to implement a little bit with varied success is making myself get into clothing, even just to be at home, get into clothing that feels good, whether or not it's even necessarily outdoor clothing, but or even just like quote unquote like indoor loungewear that just like doesn't feel quite as like old and shabby. I sort of got into doing this summer, especially got into sort of like experimenting more with self-portraiture, because I learned by being like a street photographer, and doing like I think that's how a lot of people learn, is just like picking up your camera and going places with it. And in the last few months I've been trying to think up some stuff, I think for the first time, that's a little bit more like creative and deliberate and like conceived, as opposed to just like going out into the street and whatever strikes you. So I was doing some like time-lapsed self-portraits this summer that I got very into doing, and was thinking of maybe doing some more of those.